back with comedian David Boyale, and I'm quitting alcohol. So fucking today, had an appointment with the cardiologist today, and I went down there at 10 a.m. I was expecting this to be an in and out fucking, g'day, you're in good nick. Let me put the stethoscope on your fucking chest and bada bing, bada fucking boom, you're out of here. It was not like that today. So one of my sister-in-law's friends is a surgeon at one of these like good hospitals in Bangalore. So he got me an appointment with this cardiologist who's meant to be good. And I went in there and the cardiologist is like, what are you doing here? What's your concern? I'm like, I don't have like real concerns. Not much is going on. I get like a clenching in my heart every now and then, which freaks me out. And I feel congested around that area a little bit. And honestly, I don't even think he listened to that. He didn't listen to that at all, actually. I was looking in his eyes. I was waiting for him to go, congestion and clenching? Get this man on an operating table. He needs something done immediately. But it just whizzed right past his head. So he's like, well, how old are you? Do you smoke? Do you do this and that? I'm like, I'm known to choke back a dart here and there, but I'm not a full-time smoker. I have been known to dart. He's like, well, that doesn't matter then. If you don't smoke, don't worry about it. He's like, do you exercise? I'm like, yeah, I exercise. I'm like, I don't eat sugar at all. Haven't eaten sugar at all in like 3 years, and I don't drink alcohol at all, and that's almost 4 years. And he's like, I didn't ask you either of those questions. Why did you bring it up? Anyway, he asked me a couple of questions and he's like, well, there's like certain packages you can get if you want an angiogram done, which we don't generally recommend for young fucking handsome cunts like you. He's like, that's when we put the dye in your veins and we give you a CT scan. I'm like, I don't want a CT scan. I had one last year and I've had about 400 fucking x-rays since then. So I'm off the CT scan. He's like, well, that's good then. We'll put you on the diamond package. We'll get all these different things done and then come back to me once it's all done. I'm like, sweet. This should take a couple of fucking minutes. First thing I needed to do was an x-ray. Fucking these x-ray cunts. Every time I get an x-ray, they take the x-ray and then they look at it, realize they've fucked it up, and then have to take another one. Up to like 3 or 4. They're so fucking annoying. I don't even want the one x-ray and I end up getting fucking 3 fucking x-rays. So I got the x-ray. That was a wait. Then I got an ultrasound. This old dude, I don't think he's left that ultrasound room in like 80 years or something. This was an old ultrasound dude. And they asked me to pull my pants down, like down to my muff. I'm like, my heart is nowhere near my balls. What are you doing around there? So he ultrasounded me. Fucking all over. I was covered in lube. Front, side, muff. Everywhere. So, fucking how long did that take? That took like 10 minutes or something, but there was waiting for that. Then after the ultrasound, I got a blood test. Again, they fucking double veined it. They went in one vein, and I don't know what happened there, but it started running out of blood. And so she's like, I need to do the other vein. I'm like, you and this x-ray cunt, you need to have a good hard look at yourself. So the blood test was fine. There was like 6 things. So after the blood test, I had a echo. That's where they put the plunges all over you. The poor nurse had to shave my chest. I am the hairiest motherfucker. Just belly hair, chest hair. Fucking, I had to go buy my own shaver as well. Stand in line with like desperate fucking Indians trying to get their medicine, just pushing in front of you. There's like a little window, little square window where the doctor is it's just taking whoever's next, whoever's hand is first. They don't care about lines here. Nobody does. So everyone's charging at the window. I had to fight off like 10 cunts to get my fucking shaver. Took it back, they shaved my chest, did this echo thing. That was fine. Then I got another ultrasound type thing. I don't know what the fuck that was. And then they got me on the treadmill. They full hooked me up, shaved more of my chest, got me on the treadmill and got me walking. They had the Boyale walk in. I was about 5 minutes in, and the lady's like, "Do you exercise?" I'm like, "You can tell, can't you?" Seriously, the treadmill was going at 1.7 k's an hour. That's a very light stroll. I guess it's like a full-blown sprint for Indians. So I'm on the treadmill for about 15 minutes. Honestly, didn't even slightly crack a sweat. It wasn't even really fast enough to get my heart going. Anyway, that was the end of all the heart fucking shit I needed to do. Got all the results back, went in to see the cardiologist. The cardiologist opened my file, looked at everything for, I would say he spent 0.1 of a millisecond on my x-ray, and total on the results of all the other things, I was in there for about 45 seconds. He's like, "Everything's good, this is good, that's good, whatever, get out of here." I'm like, "Oh, okay, so I'm healthy?" He's like, "Yeah, everything's fine, mate." So we walk out, and the surgeon, my sister-in-law's friend, he's like, "You wanted to get an MRI, didn't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did, but if everything's good," he's like, ask the cardiologist. So I go in and I speak to the cardiologist. I'm like, "I was thinking about getting an MRI." He's like, "What for?" I'm like, "I don't know, because they're expensive in Australia." He's like, "If that's your reason, I don't mind giving you a referral to get one. You don't need it. It's unnecessary. But if you want to do it because you don't want to do it in Australia, that's fine." So he gave me a referral. I'm like, "Yeah, I might as well do it. While I'm here, I might as well do it." So this is 3 o'clock now. I got there at 10 and it's just test, fucking this, wait, that. And I was getting the VIP treatment as well because I was going around with this fucking surgeon. I don't know how long I fucking would have been there if it wasn't for him. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just get the MRI done. Why not? Why not? I'll go down there. I'll get it done with. 45 minutes. It should be fucking sweet. So I go down there. This is VIP treatment as well because the surgeon called these cunts and said, "This is a good friend of mine. I need him like rushed through." So I get down there. They're like, "You're next." And I'm like, "How long is that going to be?" They're like, "I don't know, like 15 minutes, something like that." I'm like, "Cool. How long's the procedure?" They're like, 2 hours. I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, the MRI takes 2 hours." I'm like, "Are you fucking out of your mind? I don't even need this. What the fuck am I doing? I don't even need an MRI scan. Can I get out of this now?" I'd already like locked it in though. I'm like, fucking hell. And so I go in. All these procedures, they're actual fucking procedures. Like, they're not comfortable. Everyone's like, just go in there, have an MRI. But you go in there, they put you in a position where you can't move at all. I had my arms over my head and my shoulders, within the first like 3 minutes, my shoulders were just going numb. My hands were going numb. I'm like, how am I going to fucking meditate my way through this? This is brutal. But the way I was lying, they had to get me out again. And the doctor could see the pain on my face after like 3 or 4 minutes. He's like, "Are you comfortable with your arms up there?" I'm like, "To be honest with you, doc, no, I'm not." He's like, "Put them down by your side then." So I go back in to the MRI and they're like, "What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take a deep breath when you're in there and hold your breath whenever we say it, and then just go back to normal breathing." So when we say hold your breath, take a deep breath, hold your breath, and then relax, go back to your normal breathing. I'm like, fucking all right, that's fine. So they check me in the MRI. They're like, "Hold your breath." I hold it. They fucking make me hold it for like 30 seconds. Then they're like, "Relax." I do this maybe 50 times. And then they get on the loudspeaker and they're like, "You're doing the breath holding wrong." They're like, "You need to do it better. You need to hold your breath better." I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Hold my breath better. So fucking, they start again. Hold your breath, relax. I do that, honestly. It must have been over 100 times. Way over 100 times. Because they did a full MRI scan of my heart, just cold, just raw dog. And then after that, they pulled me back out, put a dye into my veins, and then put me back in the MRI and just fucking did the same thing again. It took fucking forever. And because I was fucking up at the start, it ended up being like 2.5 hours in that fucking MRI, and you can't move at all. Like, you're not allowed to move fucking even like a mil. So I was still for 2.5 hours. My knees, everything hurts. If you don't move, everything hurts after fucking 2.5 hours. My toes, my knees, I had an itchy nose. It was fucked. Anyway, I haven't got the results back for that yet. So that finished 5:30. 10 a.m. to 5:30. That was my day today. 10 fucking a.m. to 5:30. Just doing heart tests. And I get home and I show my sister-in-law all the results of my shit. And she thoroughly goes through them with her husband, who's also a doctor. And they're like, it seems like there's a abnormality here. There seems like there's a problem here. What's going on here? I'm like, can you tell me what's going on there? Like, and they won't tell me anything. They're like, there's markings on his lungs. What's happening there? They're like going into it. The cardiologist is like perfect health. These two are like, there's problems. I don't know what the fucking problems are though. There was some scrunched up faces and some frowns though. I was like, what are these markings on my lung? Is it the fucking emphysema? They're like, no, the emphysema's fine. It's just you've got increased blood vessels or something in your lungs. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means. Am I okay? And they've semi-assured me that I'm kind of okay. So apparently I am okay. My heart's okay, apparently. I don't think it's like stellar. My brother-in-law was like, there is like some previous damage, it looks like. It looks like old stuff. I'm like, yeah, I fucking trashed my heart for about 20 years. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this, to check it out. So I haven't got the MRI scan back. I'll see that tomorrow, so I'll get a better idea then. But everything seems okay. I'm not going to say fucking unreal. The last Boyle to say they were in perfect health was my grandpa, Graham Boyle. Got the full checkup, called my dad, I'm in perfect health. Died, major heart attack 4 days later on the golf field course. So I'm not going to say perfect health, but it seems okay. Anyway, that'll do for today. If you're enjoying the pod, give it a share around, and I'll see you the fuck later.